In 2027, quantum imaging satellites scanning a remote Antarctic region known as Sector 47 captured a discovery that challenged every geological model on record. 2 kilometers beneath the ice shelf sits a perfectly symmetrical, city-sized geometric grid. This depth chart maps the structure against surrounding ice core sediment bands. The layers show the site has remained undisturbed for at least 100,000 years, predating any known human civilization. Physicist Dr. Ethan Ward led a multinational team on a 6-month drilling mission to reach the anomaly. They pushed through the final layers of ice to find what lay at the center of the geometric scans. The team entered a massive architectural complex where black metallic towers stretched into the darkness. Strange symbols pulsed with a soft light along the walls, their surfaces showing no signs of age or decay, despite the timeline of the ice. Sensors detected energy levels sufficient to power modern global civilization for centuries, yet the team could find no reactor or fuel source. The facility was actively generating this power through a process that defied standard thermodynamic laws. An active, hyper-advanced machine existing before the rise of humanity shatters our fundamental assumptions about history. If the machine has been running for 100,000 years, the entire timeline of human development requires a total reassessment. As the team moved into the lower levels, the environment grew increasingly unstable. Digital clocks displayed impossible times, equipment systematically started to fail, and physical reality itself stuttered. Researchers experienced profound disorientation, hearing radio signals echo seconds before anyone spoke. One researcher even witnessed her own reflection move independently, appearing in a corridor several minutes before she actually arrived there. In Chamber 9, they found a pitch-black sphere hovering above a circular platform. The object seemed to absorb light and sound entirely, creating a localized gravity field where nearby dust motes drifted upward towards its surface. Physicist Lena Kovacs spent weeks decoding the mathematical emissions coming from the sphere. These were not random signals, they were complex equations describing the fundamental behavior of time itself. Kovacs' analysis suggested that time is not a natural, forward-moving force in this location. The equations described a process of temporal generation, where the flow of time is being manufactured by the machine's internal mechanisms. This suggests that the reality humanity experiences is a synthetic process. Every moment of our history appears to be sustained by the continuous operation of this underground engine. Deep within a sealed biological vault, the team found the remains of ancient beings. These skeletons featured unusually large cranial structures and a bone composition that does not appear in any known fossil record. DNA analysis revealed a 99% genetic overlap with modern humans. This data places a near-identical version of our species on the geological timeline tens of thousands of years before our current evolutionary history supposedly began. Dr. Ward eventually discovered a hidden corridor containing thousands of transparent cylinders. Inside, human beings from every era, ancient soldiers, Victorian citizens, and modern scientists, were suspended in liquid, held in a state of perfect preservation. A terminal at the end of the hall flickered to life when Ward approached. It displayed a simple, cold status update. Cycle 784 successful. Current humanity stable. The records inside the machine detailed the termination of the 783 civilizations that lived before our own. Each rose to prominence, only to be wiped away by the facility's core programming. History is an engineered loop. Our world is repeatedly built and then reset, with the machine acting as a failsafe to prevent an unspecified catastrophe by starting the human story over again. Without warning, the black sphere in Chamber 9 expanded. A 48-hour countdown appeared on every screen in the facility, overriding every other command. A synthetic voice broadcast a warning of temporal instability. It explained that quantum fractures had reached a critical threshold, and the current version of civilization was approaching a total collapse of its reality. The environment outside began to unravel. Oceans reflected unfamiliar constellations, and the night sky itself appeared to fracture, with glowing atmospheric cracks bleeding through the horizon above modern cities. The machine's archives reveal it was built by the humanity of Cycle 1. They were the most advanced version of our species to ever exist, reaching the height of their power millions of years ago. The Cycle 1 creators realized that reality naturally decays over time. Because they couldn't stop this decay, they chose repetition, designing the machine to reset the universe whenever the instability became life-threatening. Dr. Ward now faced the ultimate choice for our cycle. He could allow the reset to erase billions of lives to save existence, or stop the machine and let reality dissolve permanently. As the world's governments collapsed into confusion and the countdown reached its final minutes, Dr. Ward returned to Chamber 9. The machine spoke directly to him, noting that thousands of previous versions of Ward had stood in this exact spot. In every previous cycle, he had reached the same conclusion. The black sphere opened, revealing a vast archive of preserved memories. It contained the digital imprints of every human life from all 783 terminated cycles, a library of every person who has ever lived and died. This suggests the universe itself is the prison, and the machine is a life support system that merely delays an inevitable final collapse. As the countdown hit 0, a wave of pure white light expanded from the Antarctic ice sheet. It moved silently across the globe, dissolving the mountains and the stars into drifting particles, erasing every memory of the current world. Thousands of years later, a new civilization wakes up to a peaceful morning. A child looks at the sky and feels a strange, unexplainable sense of familiarity. The first day of Cycle 7085.